This is Klarity, one of these social media OGs.
To have that level of influence, I feel like I didn't capitalize off of it the way I probably could have or should have. Because that's all it is, eyeballs and ad dollars. So we're walking price tags. We are walking ad dollars. Oh, who do these actors think they are? Who do I think I am? I'm the guy
who's bringing you 100 million views, right?
Are you kidding me? They should get paid more. If all the content creators was like, yeah, you know what? We ain't creating no more. This whole thing would implode in a day. Your vanity for self-worth and validation and to be somebody. That is what these big guys play on and prey on.
Welcome to another podcast, guys. I got a really fun guest here today. This is Klarity. This is one of these social media OGs. Like, I'm talking the real OGs, not like just an OG. This is the realest of OGs. I mean, you want to talk about the forefathers of all social media. He's one of them, and we're going to talk about that. He got huge on Vine, and just was the best of the best when it came to collaborations. Worked with the Paul brothers. There's a what's his name? I want to say Captain Batch, but it's not Captain.
Captain Batch.
Captain Batch. We should
Batch.
Rename
rename it Captain Batch.
And who else was out there?
Daystorm Power, King Batch, Logan. Yeah, we said them already. Melvin Gregg, Splack, Leanne V was one of my best friends.
She's hilarious. Dude.
She's funny, and she's also just had a baby.
Yeah, she's awesome. I'm a big fan of hers.
Hannah Stocking, Amanda Cerny,
yeah.
Lele Pons.
I mean, this is, and if you know anything about this, and there's kind of a crazy story, you know, it's like the Vine group, and you guys actually lived on a street called Vine, right?
Yeah, there was an apartment on Vine. It was called 1600 Vine.
And so the app didn't get the name from that, right?
Nah, it was completely coincidental. It was just serendipitous.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we'll get deeper into that, but Klarity really does it all. So he's an incredible content creator, and if you watched him in the early days of Vine, you were laughing for days. I mean, it was 6 seconds of laughing, then to 20 minutes of laughing about what you just saw. I mean, this dude was a pro. Anyway, has grown his social following on all the different social channels. Filmmaker, film writer, I mean, producer, owns a production company, exotic dancer, model. He does it all. He does it all.
I thought we weren't going to talk about that part.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. But he, you know, and we've had some time together. We got to know each other, you know, over the last couple of years. Our buddy KB, Kenneth Boggs, introduced us probably like 2 years ago.
Longer.
It's been really.
The pandemic was 3. We met pre-pandemic.
We did. Holy cow.
Yeah.
But anyway, I have a tremendous amount of respect for this guy, and truthfully, he's in town for a few reasons, you know, to have fun here on the podcast. But this guy is a brain when it comes to understanding and knowledge of social media, and really has a very sound understanding as to where the future of social media is going, which aligns a lot with a lot of the things that I'm working towards. So we're excited to collaborate, and we're gonna see where this all goes. But today it's about you, my man. So. Gosh, let's start with your story. Yeah. As a kid, he started acting. He loves film. You know, we went into my movie room last night, and he just broke it down, man. He just broke it down, talked about all the movies that he's loved, and we both have a tremendous love for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Deep.
And when we talk about we're talking about the ninja
rap, ninja
rap. Go ninja,
go ninja, go ninja, go. Whoa, my boy.
Yeah. So some of y'all will know what we're talking about here.
The height of Vanilla Ice right there.
The ones that really matter.
Yeah.
Michelle has no idea what we're talking about.
Not true.
You don't. You do not know. Do you really know what I'm talking about?
She was bobbing her head when we were doing it just now.
Okay, yeah, she knows. She knows.
She was doing a fist pump.
You know, and he what was the one that cracked me up? You would never believe the show he claims he's seen every episode of. Let's hear it.
Man, I love Lucy, bro. Stop playing with me.
I love Lucy.
Yeah.
I love Lucy.
Every
So how did that even like?
I don't know. I don't know, man.
I thought you were joking.
I'm not kidding. I am not kidding. To this day, if I had a choice, I know that I could sit there and watch that all day and just laugh, and it would hit. It's nostalgic for me. So, you know, I grew up in a Caribbean household. I'm very old soul. My grandmother, you know, old school grandparents, Caribbean grandparents, they didn't have cable, man. We didn't have all the choices we have now. There's only about a few channels back then, especially with cable networks. So, one of them was Nickelodeon, but back then at nighttime they had Nick at Night. So they would just play all the reruns of like all those old black and white TV shows. So I was, as a kid, man, I was watching like Dick Van Dyke and I Dream of Jeannie and
that's awesome.
Man, everything. And for some reason, I took to I Love Lucy. I just thought she was hilarious. I was like, this woman's funny. She's one of the top comedians of all time.
Yeah. She's
not
great.
Even just female. I'm talking about comedians, period. Yeah. Even to this day, I don't know very many people that are comedically funny as Lucille Ball.
Yeah.
Much less women.
Yeah.
But comedians, period. Right. And in terms of actors, like she had it. And I would still put that show up against anything that comes out today. But I just took to it. I have no idea why. I just loved watching it.
Man,
it was great.
Yeah, so good. And you just spoke to something that I think is an interesting topic. I think it is so incredibly amazing, sexy, unique, interesting when a woman has a sense of humor.
Man, it's the best, man.
Right?
That's the best.
It's almost like, a lot of guys can win ladies over with a sense of humor, right?
Yes.
Like a lot of men have to rely or depend
on that.
Yeah. Because women love guys that, can make them laugh. But when there's a girl that can make you laugh, like belly laugh, they're special.
They're understand
unique.
What kind of value that is. Because all we want to do is we just don't want to be stressed.
Yeah, man.
We just don't want to be stressed. They say happy wife, happy life, but there's something to that with men as well.
Yeah.
We don't want to be stressed.
What rhymes with happy husband? Happy husband, happy.
I don't know. There's not a saying.
We got to come up with it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing.
One.
Happy husband, happy loving. I don't know. That don't really rhyme, but I don't know.
Happy husband, happy loving.
It's close enough.
That's good. That is good.
But it's true.
Yeah.
Like if we'll love on you all day long.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
It's a natural thing to put you first.
Yeah, man. That's right. So just wanted to mention that. Anyway, so Nick at Night, I Love Lucy, and your parents were just like this boy.
Because all I did was just watch TV.
Yeah, and they're like, okay, well, let's do something with this. So then what happened?
So I guess they had a conversation amongst themselves because my daddy was like, you're not just going to sit around here and watch TV all day, boy. You're going to do something. My dad's from the South. He was an old school Southern dude.
Yeah.
Just from the South, 70s, black dude. So, he was like, what you doing? Get up.
Get to work.
Now. What you need? Because they started him. That's what his father did to him. And both of his brothers, my uncles, were all military dudes. And so was my, it was my grandfather.
Wow.
So everybody was in the service. My dad was the only one, but he was used to that dictator, and they started a garbage truck business in the 70s and grew it to $1 million.
No way.
Yeah, until they got muscled out by the mob and waste management services that are now known to be waste management services. It's a sad story. I should do a movie on my family. It's crazy.
Dang, man.
Yeah, it's pretty.
That sucks.
Yeah, it kind of does. Because but they were successful to the point where they caught attention, and the city, like, it was like some mafia stuff where they rerouted their contracts, or like they lost all their clients and then they ended up having to sell it, and they sold it. It's crazy, but we'll get to that. But like, that's the DNA he comes from. So like, sitting in front of the TV was not an option. But to his credit, and to whoever made the decision, it's instead of just being like, this boy lazy, all you want to do is watch TV. But it wasn't the fact that I was watching TV. It was the fact that I was watching the same stuff over and over. Because here's I am, this little black kid in the hood watching this white lady in black and white. Didn't make any sense. I wasn't watching. It wasn't like I was just watching cartoons all day.
Right.
It wasn't just I was watching whatever all day. It was like I Love Lucy. It was Bruce Lee movies. It was live action Ninja Turtles. And then like my guilty pleasure was Power Rangers. And then I Love Lucy. And then like it over and over.
Which is unique because most kids are watching, cartoons. Like,
yeah, I didn't care about that. I mean, yeah, a couple cartoons here and there, but
DuckTales.
Yeah, sure. I mean, DuckTales. Woo, yeah. No, all that. But primarily, it was the live action like black and white shows, and it was to this day.
Wow.
I still love black and white. I'm gonna shoot a movie or a show or something in black and white.
You should, man.
I am. There's something. I'm actually working on something right now.
You watch Fargo?
No. I haven't. I know it's good. I'm saving it because I've ran out of my bandwidth because a lot of Hollywood comes out with a bunch of trash stuff now. And sometimes I intentionally wait in case I run out of something, then I can just go back and just binge it. That's what I did for Breaking Bad. Thank God I did.
Yeah.
No way in hell I was gonna wait for dude. That show was what? It was stressful binging it.
Yeah, it was.
But
So good though.
so great. But
So good.
yeah. So I think maybe at one point they were like, because then I would just watch it over and over, and then it was like, and then I guess I would just sit there. It would call my name, and I'd just be like this. And it wasn't like I was just watching, playing around. I was like,
You were taking it all.
I was taking it in, almost studying. And so they finally decided, like, well, maybe we should give him, the boy watch TV. Maybe we should give him some acting lessons or something. So they just took a chance and took me to this acting school in Orlando.
And how old were you at the time?
Like 7 or 8.
Just a kid, baby.
Oh yeah, man, baby. Before I even knew what it is, I didn't even know what acting was. I didn't know what I was watching. TV wasn't real. I thought Lucy was a real person.
Just a mom, you know, like some wife, mom.
And they lived in a black and white land. I didn't know the difference. I was just like, why they, it's old, so I guess they didn't have no color back then.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
So they took me to this random acting school called Lisa Maley Acting and Modeling for Kids down in Orlando. And I went there, and at the time I thought I was just talking to these random people, but I was interviewing with like the owner and the head teacher.
Right.
And they were like, well, why do you want to be an actor? And my only thing I wanted to do at that time was be a Power Ranger as a kid, because I thought Power Rangers were real. I wanted to be, and I knew I couldn't be a Ninja Turtle because, I wasn't a turtle.
You're not a turtle.
I'm not a turtle. So I was like, well, that dream's dead. But I could do this Power Ranger thing, maybe. So she was like, why do you want to be an actor? And I was like, because I want to be a Power Ranger. And my mom was like, boy.
It's you. No.
And I was like, what? And then, I was like, well, I see it on TV, and they were laughing because my innocence was so cute, I guess, but it was the truth. But what I didn't know is those were guys on TV being actors. And so they quickly explained to me that's what acting is. I was like, oh.
Okay, it makes sense now.
You mean I get to be a Power Ranger? Boy. So, once I realized that I wasn't going to be a Power Ranger, I was like, well, I guess I'll try this acting thing out. And so I just they gave me a piece of paper. And I remember the first time I ever read a script or lines was an M&M's commercial. And so they had this printout, and it was like M&M's, and they were like, we're going to, read this, and we're going to put you on camera. And it was like, put me on camera. What does that even mean, put me on camera? So I guess I took the paper and I went outside, I guess. And both of my parents were there, but I went outside by myself, or maybe with my dad, and I read it. I think I read it like twice or 3 times. This is what they told me. And then I went back in, and apparently I memorized it. So I went back in, and the lady, I did the commercial. And then I think she was like, how old is he? Because apparently I read it and memorized it and recited the whole thing to the camera. And my dad was like, look at that boy, how he just memorized that whole thing.
Just like me.
Yeah,
it's exactly what I would have done.
I said, yeah, look at that boy. That boy smart. Boy, look how that boy brain work. Look how he just memorized that thing like that so fast. How he do that? And I didn't know what I was doing.
You're just doing it.
My brain just worked like that. I just see it. I have a photographic memory if I'm interested. Even if I'm not, I see something one time, I'm like, or a person, I'm like, But I think that let them know that I had it or had something. So they decided to, I guess, let me continue to go back and invest in me to take these lessons. And then from then on, I guess they noticed something in me, the acting school teacher and owner, and they were like, let's help him get an agent. And I was like, an agent? What's that? Are they gonna help me be the Red Ranger? What's going on? And so they got me an agent locally, and then I started doing a lot of local affiliate work, Disney, Universal, these industrial commercials and stuff like that.
What was your first gig?
I think it was a Disney commercial.
Nice.
It was like a local affiliate Disney thing type of thing, and that's how I started out. Being in Florida, that was a benefit, right? And so that was the thing. I was doing a bunch of those, and then one day my agent got a call for an audition. They were looking for kids for this Nickelodeon show. It was a Nick Jr. show called Gullah Gullah Island. And you know about that too?
Yes.
See, these are natural.
I know the theme song.
Let's do it right now.
Awesome.
Oh, and to do there, all we need now is you there. Let's all go to Gullah Gullah Island. Gullah Gullah, Binya Binya. She's not lying. This is a genuine person.
Bear song? Oh.
Cougar Bear laugh.
In the old country.
Yo, where y'all find her? She's genuine. She's not lying.
She surprises us every day, Michelle.
I was on that show as a kid. That was my. That was my first gig.
Michelle is a master of
Great.
many trades.
I watched it. I
She
loved it.
she
Yeah.
surprises us every day.
So you watched
Some-
me when I was a little baby.
Yeah.
Didn't even know.
You guys just jinxed yourselves. Didn't even know. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
So that was my so I got an audition for that anyway. As you know, spoiler alert, I ended up booking the show. And so, but I didn't know I was auditioning. I just went and there were other
Did your
kids
thing.
and they were like, okay, pretend this. And then I would just go play. I was playing with other kids, you know, on camera, like, okay, pretend you're the floor is lava. And I was like, ah. And I guess, you know, whatever my personality, they're like, he's great. And so later on I got a call, or I guess my parents got the call that he got the show. And I didn't know what booking a show meant at the time. I just thought I can keep going playing with these new friends.
You're
I
just
had
living
made.
your life.
Yeah. And that was my first acting break. So at 8 or 9 years old, I joined that show. The second season it was on the air. I ended up joining the show Gullah Gullah Island as a kid actor, as one of the neighborhood kids. And I was on that show for like three more years after that. 4
Wow.
more years after that. And that was like my first break into the business. So it all started from just me being a kid that was obsessed with Lucy and Power Rangers and Ninja Turtles to like, you know, where I am now. But kudos, shout out to my parents and my dad, you know, and you know, my mom, just for being attentive. And that taught me something now. And when I look at Ava, my daughter, I'm like, whatever she's into, I'm a seer, right? I look, a visionary. I don't judge quick. If I'm judging you, it's in my head, but I don't say nothing. I just look. That's what my name means. My real name's Greg, right? Clarity, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But my name means watchman. They named me that on purpose because they saw that my parents wanted me to know that my job is to always be aware. Be mindful what God is showing you. You know what I'm saying? You're a watchman. You're an observer. You stand, you look, you watch. You keep quiet, you watch. You look, you pay attention. Take it all in and assess
Cool,
later.
man.
So it taught me to observe her. So now I find myself just staring at her to see what she's into, to see what, you know, and because that's how I'm going to cultivate in her. Because who knows, whatever she's into now, it could be what she's going to do for the rest of her life.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah,
Much
yeah.
respect.
Yeah, yeah.
Beautiful daughter, by the way.
Thank you.
Little 2-year-old now.
Man, she
gorgeous.
just turned 2.
She's a riot, huh?
What?
That's awesome. Dad life is it's hard. It's special.
Yeah.
Enjoy these times. I watched one of your posts. You know, I can't remember. I think it was just talked about. There's like 4 years where they're a kid.
Yeah,
They're like
Jordan.
Yeah, Peterson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's true.
It goes by so fast.
I don't even, dude.
It goes by so fast.
She's 2. I don't know when and how that happened.
Yeah, man. Well, you met my 4 kids yesterday, and it's crazy.
Just like that, man.
It's sad. It actually makes me sad, but you know, there's phases in life, right? There's phases, and every phase matters. You know, a lot of people look back at their lives and they're like, "Gosh, I miss the past, man. I miss those days. I miss those days. I wish I was back there. Or I miss my kid, you know, when they were a little 2-year-old." But the truth of the matter is, there are special moments right here at this age, and I'm teaching myself that. You know, even like an 80-year-old person can still have special moments at that time in their life, just like they did when they're 20s, that they're reminiscent about. And so I'm learning to teach myself. You know, while I have teenagers right now, there's gonna be a time that I miss it. But even when I'm missing it, when they're in their 30s and 40s, there's moments at that age that I should be enjoying, just like I did when I was 20, 30. And I've got to always remember that, because it's like when I hit 40, man, like it just became tough for me. I just felt like I was all of a sudden an old geezer. And all the best moments of my life had already passed me up. And that is such a lie. It's such a lie, man. There's some sorry, I'm kind of getting off on a tangent here, but there's some countries that I think it's in Asia in some places, and also in like Germany and some parts of Europe, that the elderly are revered and looked to as just incredible people because they've been through it. It seems the country we live in right now, the youth are the ones revered and the ones that everyone wants to be like. What are your thoughts on that? Here we go. We talked a little bit about this last night at dinner.
I mean, man, well, the Bible does say out of the mouth of babes, right? So I think there's something to that to a degree, like, especially before they get too old.
I kind of feel like that applies to 8 years and below, and that might be my opinion.
Yeah, no,
8 years and below.
Yeah, I think so too. Because Because even when you get by 10, you kind of start knowing.
Now you start getting impacted, affected by the things you're seeing and watching, hearing.
Because even that story I just told you, like I was still right at that age where I didn't know that it wasn't real. That acting was just a thing you did. I thought that was, like I said, I thought Lucy was a real person. I thought Power Rangers were real people.
Yeah.
And I got destroyed in that meeting.
Yeah.
I was around 8 years old. So yeah, you're right. Under 8, I think out of there still there's a lot of truth still. Adulterated, messed with truth.
Yeah.
But after that, the kids haven't been through anything. I'm not saying that there are no prophetic or special kids out there, but I think that the age, like as I gotten older, even now, like I still have a lot of my peers my age, but I love connecting with older gentlemen now. And
for sure,
man, the game that you can gain and the wisdom that you can gain from hanging out with OGs, man, I find that incredibly invaluable. Because now that I'm a father and an entrepreneur and all these things, I'm like, man, who better to learn from? I can't learn from no kid. I can learn certain things.
Yeah.
But you haven't been through anything that I can learn from. Now, granted, there's kids in third world countries that have probably been through more things than some adults have, just from hardships of where they live.
Right.
War zones, and
they
will never understand certain levels of poverty, right? Or just making it through. But in terms of life experiences, I think that the wisdom and the lessons come from the older generation.
Absolutely. And your mind's right when it comes to that stuff. You mentioned God, or the Lord says, become as little children. I think what he means by that is children just are full of love, man. I mean,
full of love.
I mean, you could throw 100 young kids together, right? 8 years below, 10 years below, doesn't matter the shape, size, color, nothing. They're all friends. They find a way, they'll find a way to they love each other. They play, they might have little tiffs or tussles between them, but they're best friends 2 seconds later. I mean, that's what I think. That's what I think is meant when you hear that, somewhere in the Bible, the scriptures. But it's an interesting world when it comes to that stuff. So respect the elderly, y'all. You might be able to learn a thing or two, right?
You definitely will.
You have to look for those opportunities.
Yeah.
So you're revered and looked to as, again, one of the OGs in social media. You're an influencer. I would venture to say that you at one point or another have hit the billion impressions or even more based on social content you put out. Maybe 20 billion, 50 billion, I don't know.
There was an actual number, I forgot it, but it was billions.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
So a couple questions for you on that. Number one, I mean, how does that make you feel, knowing that you've had that kind of reach? And then number two, I want to talk about the world of influencers and the evolution of it and where it's going. That was a really entertaining conversation for me with you last night. And, with the influencers that I'm working with and that I'm planning to work with, there's a lot of things I'm looking forward to learning from you. But I want to start with, that kind of puts you on a mantle. When you start reaching that kind of people, I mean, pressure, what things do you feel or where does your mind go when you know that kind of stuff?
That's a good question. A lot of different things. I think instinctively, and if we're just being transparent, sometimes, if I'm being real, angry. Because to have that level of influence, I feel like I didn't capitalize off of it the way I probably could have or should have.
And who would you point at when it comes to that stuff? I mean,
I just didn't know.
You just didn't know.
It didn't exist when we started.
Others did.
Oh yeah, the powers that be did.
Yeah.
And they took full advantage of it.
Do you think they continue to take advantage of that today?
Oh yeah, they do. But it's gonna stop. It's gonna stop.
I would agree with that.
It's gonna stop.
Yep.
Because people are getting smarter, and I think one of my missions in life now is like on some Moses type stuff. It's like I went through it first, so I can show y'all and lead y'all. And I think I'm just trying to like really link up with other like-minded people to sort of blow the gates out. And I don't know if that makes us a martyr, not smarter, but martyrs, or what. We're gonna need some protection. right? Spiritual, mental, soul, all that, because you know it's gonna make other people's pockets light when you do that. When you start educating folks, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it is what it is. It's whatever, man. Like, because it's wrong, and I believe that if there's a gift that's been put inside of you, no one else should own that gift or monetize that gift but you. Period. And so, you know, on one hand, I'm like, and I see others that did take advantage, or maybe they just had smarter teams than I did. I didn't. My father died the first year I started doing Vine.
Oh, really?
Oh, dude, like he saw like the first 5 Vines I've ever done. Then he died like in July 12th, 2013. My first Vine I started making was in like May or April or May
No way,
of that
man.
year. So like he was alive long enough to be like, man, what is
this madness?
these little videos, this boy making these little crazy videos? What is he doing? Boy, that boy's silly. Boy, he was telling my mom that. Because he saw me as an actor, and that's when he knew I was like TV, whatever. But then he saw me making these little silly 6-second videos. He's like, wait. But he was amused.
Yeah.
You know, he was hard on my beat. He just wanted me to make it in any way. He just didn't want me to not make it because he knew that I was capable of doing whatever I wanted to do. If I wanted to be a doctor, I could have done it. A lawyer could have done it. Rockets, I could have done it. He's like, I don't care what you do. Whatever you decide, you're going to do it. The boy going to do it. And so he was just afraid of me not living up to my potential like he didn't get to do because his father didn't allow him to. Because, you know, he wanted to go off to school and be an architect. And he was like, nah, you got to stay home and work for the business. My dad didn't want to do that. And I think that started the decline of him from all those years back. But nevertheless, I started, so I didn't even have him. I wish I had him to pull on that wisdom early on because he was the first person that even told me about a brokerage account when I was like 18 years old. When he saw I started making a little bit of money, he was like, you know what, son, you done go and invest your money. You getting a little paid out here in little Hollywood. They give me a little money. I want to invest your money, son. You need to invest. I'm like, what does that even mean? He's like, oh, God. You know, so he was the first person like, you know, why don't you buy you some shares? I was like, I ain't sharing nothing. He was like, boy, buy, you know, ain't you always on Google? Why don't you buy you some Google? And he made me buy Google back in the day when Google was like $235 a share.
No way.
Oh, yeah. Ask me if I kept it, though. And he was like, and he was the first person to break it down to me in a very simplistic way, which is now, I honestly think my dad was a genius, actually. A lot of my family tells me now, hindsight. Because there's things he battled with and struggled with that overshadowed his genius. Like, I think his depression made him turn to drugs and stuff. But like my aunt to this day was like, oh, your dad was the sharpest. Matter of fact, to the point where my grandfather, where it made my dad upset that he didn't go to college, but he was the only one he trusted to stay and run the company.
Makes sense.
But because he had the monkey on his back, like he was like the CEO, but like they didn't leave him in charge because they didn't trust him because they thought he was gonna probably take some money and go on a drug binge. But like when my dad wasn't on a bench, you couldn't, man, please.
Couldn't touch him.
What?
Out of the world.
You couldn't. And my uncles to this day were like, the relationships he had. And he was the only one that was like, do not sell this company. Do not sell this company. And he saw the muscling coming in and he was like, do not sell the company. And because he couldn't kick the habit and, you know, they got in trouble, you know, when he went around, because sometimes he just would go missing. They ended up like folding to the pressure. They sold it. And I think that made him depressed. He was like, y'all did what? But they was like, you weren't around. He was like, I think he kind of blamed himself. Mm. But my dad had a lot of natural street smart business because he did his things on the streets too.
Yeah.
You know, so But that's still business.
Yeah.
Like whether it's illegal or legal, yeah, it's all about supply, demand, and volume.
Yeah.
Like he knew how to push
what he's pushing. So
when he saw that I was making whatever as a kid actor, he was like, you know what? Invest your money. So he's like, how? I said, I don't know what to buy. He said, well, what do you use, son? Hey, what's that little service you be using to get all these movies in the mail? Why don't you do that? What's that thing you be using? I was like, you mean Netflix? He's like, yeah, go buy that. So he was the first one that made me buy Netflix back in 2005 when it was $5 a share.
And did you keep it? Next question. Go ahead.
The first 3 companies he made me buy. He's like, you got an iPhone.
Google, Netflix.
And he said, you got an iPhone, don't you? What's that little thing what's that little iPod, the thing you be listening to all the music in it? I'm like, iPod. Yeah. Who owned that? Apple? Yeah, why don't you go ahead and you buy you some Apple shares? First 3 companies he ever made me buy was Google, Netflix, and Apple, bro.
He knew something.
Man, my
He knew
dad had
something.
it, bro. Even if I would have held them shares from then, I had Apple at $75 a share in 2005, and they split about 3 times by now, right? Netflix at 5 and Google at 235 as an 18-year-old.
Dang, man. That's impressive.
He walked me through how to sign up for a TD Ameritrade account, showed me how to fund my account, and made me buy shares.
Wow.
And then I didn't understand when the stock market goes down. I'm like, man, I'm losing money. And without his permission, I sold it. And he was like, God damn, boy. And I was burnt off the market. And
But fast forward, you do now.
oh man.
He gets in the car this morning. He's like, "Good morning, man. It's a good morning. Good morning." He's like,
Blood everywhere.
Yeah, he's in there trading. He's obviously learned his lesson because
Yeah.
day trader now. Saw some opportunity this morning, capitalized on it.
Yep.
Sounded like it went well. So
56% return.
So now, fast forward to now. Tell us about what your trading experience is looking like.
All right, man. Well, so now I have all the knowledge, but not the capital to reflect, which goes back to that question about how I feel.
Bad influencers, yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like when I was making a lot of money as a young kid, I didn't capitalize. And it kind of makes me mad, right? Sometimes I'm like, God, why you give me all this money when you know what I was doing? Now I know what I'm doing, now I don't have it. Makes me kind of mad sometimes.
There's a reason for it.
Yeah.
No, I 150% believe that with all my heart. I mean, based on you and I's conversation, we had a great conversation last night. I wish we had 2 hours to talk about it.
Yeah.
But one of the questions I want to ask you right now, based on our discussion, one of the greatest opportunities ever exists for the influencer market.
Mm-hmm.
What does a platform for influencers look like in the future, done right?
Done right?
And done right, in your opinion, that if done right would attract the attention of every influencer on the planet to know that this is the place where I truly get taken care of. I get the support, I have the tools, I have the feature set, I even have the wisdom coming in to be my best self. What does it look like to you? It's
got to be a platform where you will really, it's got to be for creators by creators. It's got to be a place where you really service the creator, where you allow them to truly own all their data. And their metadata and the contacts of who they're building as they're following, right? They need to own their data, their likeness, and their image truly, right? A platform where somebody can create something, but they're not going to be held up and hated on, like having their followers held up behind a big, think about it like a dam, right? When you build followers, it's water. You know how water comes in and it's building pressure and pressure and pressure? Yeah. Well, what Instagram and all these hater platforms started doing is when they realized we were getting money, they started lowering that gate. So now you got to pay to access, and the more you pay, the more they lift it up to let it trickle in. But there's a whole flood. There's like a whole ton of water back there just waiting to burst through. The platform that allows it to flow freely to that person, to where they truly maximize. The problem is these platforms are greedy and they want all the advertising dollars, and they don't want you to know that you're worth more than what you're worth, right? Which is why even people like what Lamar Jackson just did was super important. People were calling him stupid and greedy and selfish and dumb and all these things, but he was like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm gonna chill and I'm gonna do it. Don't need my agent. I'm just me and my mom. Cause I'm the talent. I'm the brand. The thing that content creators was always missing was the business, right? At the end of the day, like places like ABC, CBS, NBC, HBO, they cease to exist without the talent, the writers.
They're nothing.
They're nothing.
They're
nothing. Just, well, there's something in which they have the business, the money, and the infrastructure, and
doesn't matter
the platform.
If they don't have that content, but they don't have that content Clarity's putting out or whatever, they got nothing. It's
Instagram
the content
that
starts.
Vine had nothing. That's why Vine failed, because they got too full of themselves and they thought that we weren't as important. They failed, and all the rest of them are going to follow suit. Why do you think Zuck is changing gears?
Because he's smart.
He's smart. He's like, all right, yeah, all right, I got all it now. I'm going metaverse, and now how you know he's changing? Because he's like, yeah, those creator programs we were paying y'all, not no more. Done with it. Well, Mark, he's like, I don't care what you think. I'm done. And I'm going to make you pay for your blue check. Because now he's preying on the vanity in which he knows is important for the common person. The people, right? So the platform that allows a person to create to allow whoever they build up to fully be engaged with whoever they build up, not have 1 million followers, but only like 0.01% are seeing your posts.
It's garbage.
Which is what they started doing everywhere. They go TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. It's all garbage. It's all garbage. YouTube, maybe, but still, like in comparison to what you could be making, what they make off of you, garbage, right? So the platform that allows you to fully reach your audience, that's number one. Number two, the platform that is actually about letting the creators get paid and not keeping the money for themselves and being the fat cat. Because truly, even if a platform let them and kept a small percentage, they would still be well off, and let the creator get majority of it because it's mine anyway. Because the only thing that separates me is not me having my own platform to release my own content, which the followers, if you follow me, Klarity, you're going to come where I'm at to where you want to see what I'm putting out anyway. Every content creator holds the power. The only thing they were ever missing was an infrastructure and a place where people could come find you. That was the only thing. And if you want to get paid, if you think about it, we're bigger than most networks. Some of my friends, man, like you said, the billions of impressions, they say, oh, the #1 show on Tuesday night, 18 million viewers. Like, that ain't really nothing, dude. I got friends, I've got videos that has 20 million views. Yeah. I've gotten more views than the #1 hit
television show series yet.
But I'm broke, or I'm not getting $1 million an episode like Friends or Seinfeld, right? So it's like, if I'm my own network at this point. If I'm getting 20 million people to say, ha, 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 and like and share, why can't I deal directly with the brand? So the platform that allows the creator to deal directly with the brand, directly with that, this is just the middleman. That's just, they're glorified middlemen, right? And that's it. It's like if you were a drug dealer, you want to go straight to the source. You don't want the connect. You're like, eventually, a guy who's really getting big, he wants to cut the middleman out. He wants to go meet Pablo. And that's what it is. I'm serious.
That's a great analogy.
It's like, I don't want to deal with you no more. I'm big. I don't even need you at this point. I got the clientele. All you are.
And I worked for it.
Huh?
And I worked for it.
And I worked for the clientele. I put my life on the line. I got to hire attorneys to keep me out of jail. You ain't doing nothing but making an introduction at this point. That's all these platforms are.
That's right.
They made the introduction. And if they would have kept it pure, maybe would be more appreciative. But it was a bait and switch. You know what I'm saying? You made us create, you made us get all these, you let us grow, and then you snatched it away, and then you made the deal with Kellogg's, with Apple, with Samsung, with whoever, and say, hey, every day, all it is a website. Social media, glorified website. And every day you say, hey, I've got 500 million people coming to my website every day, whoever. So why don't you advertise through us? Because we'll give you the eyeballs that you want and need. Because that's all it is, eyeballs and ad dollars. So we're walking price tags. We are walking ad dollars. So the platform that allows the creator to really go straight to Pablo is the app that'll win, because then we'll be appreciative. It's like, oh, I can get paid over here. And if I post something, if I have 1 million followers, I'm going to trust that 1 million people are seeing my post. And you're not making me chase a dopamine hit, which is what the trash garbage that TikTok does. That, if you notice, TikTok will let you go viral once every other video. And even if you did break through the system, if you go look at the most top TikTok creator, it's like, unless you're like an Adam W or somebody, but like you're going to have like, every video is going to be like this million, this million, this million. Then you're going to have one that has like 250 million. And then you're like, yo, I did it. I cracked the system. This is what I got to do. And then you do the same video the same way. And then the next one's 3 million. You're like, what did I do wrong? Now you think you fell off. Now you think you suck. Now you think, damn, these brands are going to see my numbers drop. And that stresses the creator out, because now we knew it was about numbers. We knew that we would get the brand deals, and that's how we were making money, based on the number of views and millions of followers that we were getting, the views we were getting. But if we had a video that got 20 million and the next million got in the next video got 3 million, it's like, damn, I just dropped 17 million views. I'm not doing my job. You think it's you, but it ain't you. It's them.
It's algorithms.
It's the algorithm making you think, now I got to work harder. Now I got to do another shock factor. Now I got to create 10 more videos, you know, as opposed to me just doing it once a video a day or every other day or once a week even. Like a show comes on once a week. If I get 20 million, If Seinfeld came on once a week, Friends came on once a week, like I Love Lucy came on once a week, why do you think networks don't put a hit show on every day? Why do you think that is?
Makes perfect sense.
They don't put it on every day.
Yeah, they don't.
They don't need to.
They don't need to.
Because every Tuesday night at whatever o'clock, they know that they can sell $50 million worth of ad space between 8 and 9 o'clock or 9 and 10 o'clock across 10 brands. Meanwhile, I'm an asshole if I won $1 million. I remember when that stuff hit who do these actors think they are? Who do I think I am? I'm the guy
who's bringing you 100 million views, right?
Are you kidding me? They should get paid more.
Yeah.
I'm sick of people not understanding the true value. If you don't understand it, then shut up or stop watching. Because the truth of the matter is, even athletes, if I didn't run and shoot this ball, if Lamar didn't throw that football, if these college players, it was criminal that guys were getting in trouble for taking a cheeseburger. Are you crazy? Reggie Bush, name another jersey that sold more than number 5 with no name on the back from the time of 2001 to 2004 in Reggie Bush, dude. And they had the nerve to get this guy in trouble because he broke the rule. You should have handed him the keys to the university.
So true. So true. I mean, you just nailed it. I mean, this stuff gets me so fired up. I'm passionate about this, just like
my forehead sweating. Scott, what you asking me to write?
Well, you should have heard our conversation last night.
Well,
Look, first of all, I'm trying to decide whether or not I change the name of our company to Pablo based on what you just shared with me.
Hey, man.
We want to be Pablo. I mean, it's a crazy world, but this is the thing. This is the greatest opportunity in the history of influence, social media, global reach.
Yeah.
Ever. It's right now.
Right now.
And
not yesterday.
And it's right now.
It's
what would
right
you say? You said it's not now. It's right now.
It's literally right now. There's no other competition.
Yeah.
You killed them all.
Yeah.
Instagram bowed out. Name another platform that will pay their creators. Not where you can post and get money from a brand. Name another platform besides YouTube. And their $2 CPMs ain't nothing. They're giving 56%, but it's $2 CPMs. All these guys, Mr. Beast, they got to get 200, 300, 500 million views of video. Yeah, they're making $100,000 a month or whatever they make. Maybe some of them make 10 million a year. They have billions of views.
Mr. Beast, it's time to level up. We gonna find you.
All my friends, all of them. If they all all the athletes stopped playing, if all the college athletes was like, yeah, we're not playing, it would have crumbled college football in a day. A day. If all the content creators was like, yeah, you know what? We ain't creating no more. This whole thing would implode in a day. But we're stuck. Everybody's stuck on that dopamine hit. They're stuck on the dopamine hit because now people, aside from money, the biggest currency people want is attention. They just want to be seen and heard. Everybody want their 15 minutes. They don't even care about the business anymore. People are giving everything away for free because they just want to be relevant. They want to be seen. And that is what these big guys play on and prey on. Your vanity for self-worth and validation and to be somebody. But if you just stop for a second and be like, yeah, but what am I giving up? What's my real value here? I left so much money on the table. And even the ones that are super rich, they still leaving too much money on the table.
Yeah.
I don't care who it is. You can name a Paul Brother, a King Batch, or Adam W.
Even Mr. Beast.
Even Mr. Beast. Until you have your own network with your own emails,
you're not doing it right.
You ain't doing nothing in comparison because somebody still's got to cut you a check. Google still makes deposits to your account.
And those deposits are cut in half into a fourth, into an eighth, 10th, 20th, or 100th.
Dude, that thing more cut up than crack in the hood, bro. It's more stepped on. These payments of these social media networks are stepped on.
Yeah, man.
It's stepped on. It's 90% baking soda and 10% cocaine. And now how you get pure cocaine? You go to Pablo.
Man, I'm ready to go to work. The truth of the matter is, I mean, this is just the beginning, and this is so inspiring. I mean, the truth of the matter is every single influencer on the planet, whether they know and understand some of the things you just shared or don't, they need to hear every word that you just said because you nailed it. And and we talked a little bit last night. Like I I see this. I understand this. My new partner here understands this, and we're on a mission, man. And it's going to be really interesting. These next couple of years are going to be interesting, but it's going to be folks like you, you know, that make it clear that you're worth more than this. You're better than this. But we also need to have an option. There has to be an option, an opportunity, a system. And so, man, that was brilliant. Everything you just shared. I'm fired up. I think everyone in here is fired up. You know, I love it. I appreciate it. I don't even want to go into anything else. I think we need to end on this note. So I mean, normally I go into whack questions. This is too good to just, you know, stop or start going into anything else. So I'm just going to end with this. This is Clarity's favorite cereal.
Hey, come on now.
The best. It's one of the best. Top 5 for
It's
me.
top 5.
Top 5.
This
But that was the one for him.
Yeah.
Anyway, so enjoy. But
Yeah,
hey,
man.
thanks for being on.
Yeah. Thank you for having
And
me,
good
man.
times ahead. For real.
Thank you. That was good.
We got work to do. You got work to do. We all do.
Yeah, we got work to do. Let's get it.
Until next time. Sayonara.
Yeah.